Hello, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Critter Make Stuff. So, I have an idea for a bloom, so that's what I'm going to do. I have 4 ounces of my Fuhitim 1-to-1 over here marinating in plastic cup. It is off camera right now because, boring, but I have that, and then I have about 5 mil of resin over here that I'm going to be using for my white. So we are going to, this is a 6-inch mold, by the way. I got it on Amazon. I'm sort of in mourning because the very first circle molds that I got ever finally gave up the ghost. And we're going to be holding services for them because they served me well for darn near 2 years, and I couldn't have asked for better molds, but I had to get new ones. These are green, pretty. Came in a set of 3, 4, 6, 8 inch molds. Amazon, I'll link it in the description box. This has sat and debubbled. I did not run it through my airless because I wanted to see how long it would take it to debubble without it, this particular resin. And it took about 20 minutes, 30 minutes to come up to temperature and debubble itself. So I've got me 4 ounces in here, which is arguably not a lot for this size of mold, but there is a method to my madness. That madness being that I am going to, of course, put a back coat on it. So I was even toying with the idea of doing a double layered bloom. So we'll see how that idea pans out. It all depends on the results of the first bloom, the size of it, the shape of it, where it is in the mold, blah, 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 blah. All right, so there's that. And it's time for the tiny torch, which I need to refill desperately, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. All right, so for our middle, what I'm going to be doing is using a combination of resin pigments and alcohol inks. Okay, so for the middle, what I'm going to be using for the middle is the ER Core Art resin pigment in Bordeaux Red. I like this color. It's a nice deep red. It's very winey, of the alcoholic variety, not the, minging variety. So I'm going to put 2 drops of that in the middle. Now, on top of that, on top of it, I'm going to be putting Ranger alcohol ink in ginger, right? So we're mixing Bordeaux Red and ginger for the middle, because, why not? For the next layer, I am going to be using pause for dramatic effect. Core, all the resin pigments come from Core art. All of the, well, not all of them, but for the remainder of the show, the alcohol inks will be from Cheap Art brand. So this is Orange from Core. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. And then we have Orange alcohol ink from Cheap Art. And that's going right on top of the orange pigment. All right. Now, second verse, same as the first. Golden is going to be in the next round of color. First, the resin pigment in golden, and I'm doing 2 drops of the pigment because we all know that yellow tends to get a bit lost. So that is why I am using 2 drops of the golden, not yellow, sorry. And then the same with the alcohol ink. Dirt, dirt. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is go back into the middle with another drop of the Bordeaux red. Okay. So there's that. Now, while we're waiting for that to get cozy with each other, I'm gonna mix up my white. Got my Illuminate white resin dye. And since we've only got 5 mil, I'm not gonna use a ton. I'm just gonna use 2 teeny tiny little drops, right? Okay. And then I'm going to go in with 3 drops of my white resin pigment. And well, I've got my big stick. It's already dirty, so we'll use that to stir it up. Pardon my big fat hand in the way. Make sure that that's all mixed together. It's looking good, nice and thick. And that is nice and opaque. All right, put the big stick away. And get a relatively decent sized silicone brush slash Scooby Doodle slash whatever you want to call it. Let me get these inks out of the way so I don't go knocking everything over, because you know your girl is clumsy. Alrighty. So that's looking good. I don't see anything else moving. So we are going to go in with some fat dashes. That's right. Fat dashes. you know, commercialized. Ah, youth. All right, so what I'm going to do in the middle, start out here and work my way into middle. Make a swirly whirly, a hurricane, a tropical storm, a cyclonic, whatever. All right, so done that. Go in with the torch, warm things up. I am not very close to the resin. My flame is very small, so I am not, I'm trying not to risk getting too close and burning the resin and or my brand new mold. So, all right, I am going to stop fiddle farting and I am going to clean up my mess, roll my paper towel up, pull my glove over it, and look at that. It's a beautiful little package. All right, I will see you guys soon. All right, so I have made a decision. It is an executive decision that I am going to attempt to do a double bloom. God. So send up your prayers now. Positive energy, good mojo, happy chi, whatever you got for me. We're gonna do it. Yep, there we go. So again, second verse, same as the first. 4 ounces of resiners. I put it through my resiners airless. 4 ounces of Fuhitim 1:1 in clear. And I'm just going to pour that over the top. So this is going to be a bit thicker of a piece, just simply because, you know, it's 8 ounces of resin in a 6-inch mold, you know, so it's going to be maybe 1/4 of an inch thick. So don't ask me how many centimeters that is. Honestly, I have no idea. Unfortunately, America subscribes to the imperial system, not metric, and our educational system, when I went through it in the 80s and early 90s, did not teach the metric system. So, unfortunately, I never learned it. But, you know, hey, that's, you know, I guess if I carried a ruler around with me all the time, I would learn it, but I don't. So, at any rate, since the first layer I did oranges and yellows, this layer I'm going to do in reds. So, our resin pigments for Act 2 are going to be berry red and persimmon red. One is much more orange than the other. The persimmon is much oranger, more orange. Anyway, you get what I mean. And then the berry red is more of a purpley, hence the name, berry. Duh. Come on, Rev. Get it together. All right, so 2 drops of berry in the middle, and on top of the berry, I am going to be using the Cheap Art brand alcohol ink in hot pink, which if you've been with me for a while, you know it reads red. And then around the outside, we're going to be using the persimmon. 2 alcohol inks go round the outside, round the outside, round the outside. And then to complement that is the alcohol ink from Cheap Art in red. So, boom, right on top. All right. Mix and mingle, friends. Mix and mingle. And again, over here in our tiny cup, we have 5 ml of resin with 2 drops of Alumilite resin dye and 3 drops of white resin pigment. So, and that's been marinating for a while. Yeah, we're just letting it do its thing. Coming up to a simmer, if you will. Ooh, I'm digging what this is doing. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Man, I am digging that the most. Right. Okay, do we want to add anything else? Thoughts, comments? No? All right. We're just gonna go in full tilt. All right, here we go. Actually, I don't want to use the stick. I want to use the same Scooty Doodle. That's the technical term for it that I used last time. So I have my wipey readily available. And I'm trying to go kind of where the other petals aren't, if that makes sense. You know, like further around the outside. To make sure that I have reasonable petal coverage. To get some heat on it. So, all right, we're going to clean up our stuff. We are going to let this do its thing, and I will see you guys soon. See you soon. Right, so the last step in our journey to floral amazingness is the back coat, and what I have here is 2 ounces of resin, and I basically just chucked a load of my moss colored mica flakes in to give it a nice shiny fluffy background. So yeah, I'm just gonna pour that over the back. Oh crap, I just realized I forgot to put my gloves on when I picked this up. Piddly squat. Sorry guys, normally I don't forget. I do sometimes. But don't come at me. You know I normally wear them. Alright, so there's that. We're just gonna let that do its thing, go to the edges, find its way home. And give it a bit of a torch for any little bubbles, because I did not run this through the airless this time. But I'm not worried about it, because as I've said 1,000 times, this stuff debubbles like a dream. Right, so just gonna let this set up, and yeah, see you guys for the demold. Okay guys, moment of truth. Did I completely screw it up, or did it turn out well? I can tell you the back looks great. The back looks beautiful. Yeah, happy about that. So let's get this out. And just from loosening it up, I don't see any witness lines around the edges from the multiple layers. So hot diggity dog for that. All right. Are you nervous? I'm nervous. I'm really nervous. I'm being careful because this is the first time I've used this new mold, and I'm, you know, trying to be careful with demolding it. All right. Here we go. We'll look at it together. 1, 2, 3. Look at that. Oh, wow. Look at that. It's not often that I'm speechless. Look at the layers on the side. You can see the different levels. Oh, wow. So the color of the back layer isn't really as noticeable, but I'm sure that if you put a light through it, you'd be able to see it. But gravy boat on toast. Wow. I am exceptionally pleased. What do you think? What do you think? Look at that. The petal definition is insane. And even though you really can't see the colors of the bottom layer, the petals and the dimension, holy moly. I mean, seriously, I'll bring it up a little bit closer so you can see. Look at that. I wish you could see this in person. This is absolutely just stunning. Wow. So, let me know what you guys think. Tell me down in the comments. Yay, nay, good, bad. Wow. Well, thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. As always, I am humbled by your presence in the Critterverse every single day. Thank you guys. So I will see you again for the next one. Take care, guys. Cheers.